Hey guys, Kevin here. I thought I would record somewhere different just for a change. I'm in my messy living room just now. What I want to do in this video is talk about finding what you're good at, finding your strengths and finding your weaknesses, because I think it's sometimes hard for people to accept what they're good at and what they're not good at when they're working online. This is something I think I struggled with for years as well. The thing is, when you're working online, it doesn't matter if you're a blogger or a web developer, you know, an entrepreneur, marketer, whatever you want to call yourself, YouTuber, you can't just really focus on one thing unless you're going to be like a contractor and only design or only code. I think if you're an online marketer, an internet marketer, as the term goes, which I don't think really fits me because I'm not a good marketer, but that's the term that everyone uses, internet marketing. But I think if you're doing that, you really do need to be a jack of all trades, and that's something I think I am. I have tried everything. You know, I think I'm someone who's tried everything, but I'm a master of nothing. In that sense, I've not really excelled in one area over others. Well, I have excelled in some areas over others, but I mean, I'm not like an expert in any one area. You know, there's some people that are just awesome designers. There's some people that are awesome this or awesome that. I've found that I've always been, you know, maybe above average in writing, but I'm very, you know, I'm below average in coding and things like that. But I think it's important to recognise what you're good at and what you're not, because it can change the direction of your online career, and I think it can, you know, ultimately change the direction of your life. And it does take a long time to realise what you're good at and what you're not. So this is not to confuse you. I mean, the term internet marketing, you know, it can refer to blogging, web development, making money online. It refers to everything. So I think the term marketing can sometimes be a little bit misleading, because myself, you know, it took me a little time to really realise it, but I think I consider myself a creator, not a marketer. So what I mean by that is I find enjoyment, I find pleasure and, you know, fulfillment, whatever you want to call it, you know, job satisfaction, I guess is the term I'm thinking of. I find that through creating something, and I find it through writing, through building websites, through connecting with people, you know, like through YouTube. I think that's one of the things that attracted me to creating forums. You know, I've ran forums for 15, 16 years, and I've always enjoyed connecting with people in that way. And I think it is because I am a creator, I'm not a marketer. So I think the best way to explain that would be like the blogging side of things now. Take blogging, for example, like myself on the forums, you know, you've got guys like Joe and things like that as well, really good writers, and we can write for a lot of websites and we can write for our own blogs. Now, there are people out there on, you know, selling through their own blogs or selling through Warrior Forum or, you know, whatever platform. They're selling ebooks, they're selling books, they're selling all these kind of things. A lot of what they say, a lot of the content that they're publishing isn't as good as the content that we're publishing. Perhaps the advice is misleading, perhaps they're not as knowledgeable as they think they are, but where they perhaps excel over us is that they are good at marketing. So they have many times, now I'm not going to single any one person out, and I'm not saying this to big myself out, but I do think there's a lot of people like myself who could provide or design or develop a superior product, but what they're doing is, you know, throwing together an inferior product, but they're good at marketing, they're good at talking something up, they're good at conveying what's, you know, what's exciting, what's amazing about a product and why people need to buy it, and, you know, they can package it up and they can sell it, and ultimately they will make more money than we do. And it can be frustrating that way in some respects, because if you're like me, a creator, you think that you have to be good at marketing. You think that you need to be, well, I need to be this too. Well, why is this guy making more money than me? Why is this guy, you know, finding more success when his, you know, without being big-headed, his articles are, you know, like 400-word articles and he's getting more readers, or, you know, he's on YouTube and he's got more viewers and blah, 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 blah. But I think it is important to recognise not only what is that person is bad at, but what they're good at as well. And it does take time to do that. You know, for a long time, you know, for certain elements of my career, what to call it, I did kind of struggle to realise what I was good at and what I wasn't good at. But ultimately what I think has led me on the right path has been to do something and to do anything really that interests me. And I think that's something that's very, very important to me. I think I really need to be passionate about what I do online, whether it be blogging or whether it be YouTube or whether it be Rise forums, you know, connecting with people. Now I'll always have to dabble in some of the other areas that you have to online. For example, you need to worry about security aspects, you need to worry about, you know, put your marketing hat on and market the products you develop and things like that. But it's also important to recognise what you're good at and what you're not good at. And ultimately, I think that's why I have did certain things in my career. I didn't realise it at the time, but I do now. A good example of that is bloggingtips.com. I ran that for like 3 years. You know, when I sold it, I had a couple of thousand posts. I think I'd written about 1,000 articles on it, you know, and maybe 1,500 through other writers. But I was brain dead. I had been writing about blogging, giving advice about blogging for 3 years solid. There's only so much you can really write about that subject. I think it's something you can really cover in about 15 good articles. And after that, you're really just going over the same subjects, or you're writing about news, or you're just going over and over and over the same thing. And going back further in my career, I owned a poker forum and I owned lots of poker related websites. I would write articles about poker, I would talk to people about poker, I would play poker at night with my friends, I would play poker online, and I just sickened myself with it. I didn't enjoy it anymore. And when I reached that moment and I didn't enjoy it, then that's when I lost complete interest in it, and it really did change from being something I loved doing to something that felt like a job, and not only a job that I really hated. And that's why I sold that website. Right now, what I'm really doing, you know, what I really love doing is working on YouTube, doing videos. I do still love updating my blog. I have kind of put it in the back seat a little bit sometimes, but I do still love updating my blog, and I really do love hanging out in Rise forums. Sometimes it can be hard to, you know, juggle them all together, but that's really what I love doing, and it's where I want to put all my focus over the next few years, over YouTube, over Rise forums, and over my blog. I mean, that's really what I want to focus on. But, you know, what I'm saying just now is obviously focus on what I've been doing, but I think it is important, if you're in a position as me, and I think there are a lot of people who are in my position who have similar skill sets to me, where you perhaps think, you know, I want to do this, but I'm really bad at that, blah, blah, blah. You do need to get good at certain things, and I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't try those other things. You know, I think you should really, if you put your mind to anything, you can be good at, you know, anything you put your mind to if you really work hard at it. But I also think you need to pick your battles. You really need to realise, well, what is my strengths, what is my weaknesses, you know, or what are my strengths and weaknesses. But I think this is something that it does take time, and I know it sounds silly saying that, but it will take time for you to realise what you're good at and what you're not, and you won't know it until you try them. So I just like to put it out there to you guys, you know, if you're finding it hard sometimes working online, or if you perhaps feel like you're hitting a roadblock, and it will do that sometimes, don't be too disheartened. Just accept it for what it is and then move in a different direction, because I've done this a lot of times in my past as well, where I've developed a website and I'm going down this route, and then I get to a certain point and I'm like, I hate this, I hate working on this website, I don't care if it makes money anymore, I'm just not enjoying it. So I've had to retract and go all the way back to the bottom and start again and go off on a different tangent. And essentially that's what I'm doing with the YouTube thing. I'm starting from completely scratch. You know, I've only really been taking it serious for less than a year now, and I'm starting from scratch and I'm learning everything new. But the key thing is that I really do enjoy it, and it does come back to, you know, full circle what I was saying earlier, that I feel that I'm a creator, and I think that is what makes me happy. And what's going to make me money and what's going to make me, you know, move in the right direction in my career is doing something that makes me happy. I will become, I'm not going to say rich, but I will become successful in one of these fields in the future, because I'm stubborn, and but not just stubborn, I think I'm really, really passionate about it. I really do enjoy it. I'm quite geeky, I love technology, and I love connecting people, and I love putting a camera down and just talking away. So just to you guys, I would just say, if you find it hard with something, just don't get too disheartened. You are going to run into some some minefields. You are going to hit a brick wall sometimes, but don't get too upset. Accept it for what it is and take a step back, even take a few days off and think, okay, why am I feeling this? Why am I not enjoying this? Or why am I, you know, spending all my time, hours trying to learn something that just isn't sinking in, you know? And I think that is important. We all need to accept what we're good at and what we're not good at. You know, accept your strengths and weaknesses. And that's not to say not to push yourself forward. You know, a couple of years ago, I knew nothing about video and audio. I still, relatively to what experts know, I know relatively nothing, but I do know a lot now. I've been learning a lot, I'm getting better, and I think that's important. And, you know, accept what you're good at and accept what you're not good at. I mean, I think that's the whole point of this video. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Please do leave a comment below, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Rise Forums. Just leave a comment below, I'd love it. And if you've not subscribed to Rise Forums yet, please do. And I'll leave you at that because I'm going out for today and I'll get another video for you guys soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.